Welcome to TV Tuần-san News at 6. My name is Nu Tran. In today's news, debris found in June confirmed as part of the missing flight MH370. Vietnamese officials investigate the suspicious death of an Australian man found in Ho Chi Minh City. And Labor Senator Stephen Conroy announces his resignation from Parliament. To today's top story, Malaysia has confirmed a large piece of aircraft debris discovered off the coast of Tanzania in June is from the missing Malaysia Airlines jet MH370. The Boeing 777 aircraft disappeared in March 2014 with 239 passengers and crew on board, soon after taking off from the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur, bound en route to China's Beijing. A search of more than 2 years has turned up few traces of the missing airplane. In a statement, Malaysia's Transport Minister said the findings will be examined further to see if it can yield any insight into the circumstances around the mysterious disappearance. Investigators have previously confirmed a piece of plane debris found on the French island of Reunion in July 2015 as being part of MH370. A Canadian man who was held in China for 2 years on charges of spying has been returned to Canada in what was a diplomatic triumph for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Kevin Garrett and his wife Julia were detained in August 2014 near China's border with North Korea. He was charged with spying and stealing state secrets. Julia, who was not charged, was released on bail and returned to Canada. The Canadian Prime Minister raised Garrett's case during an official visit to China this month when he pressed for closer economic ties and openly discussed human rights. In other world news, a wildfire in the Peruvian Amazon has burnt through 20,000 hectares of rainforest, raging towards a national park and other protected areas. About 14 hectares of native croplands have been destroyed, and protected areas for the Ashaninka Amazonian tribe and the Atishi National Park land have also suffered from the blaze. Scientists have said last year's El Niño weather pattern and the decrease in rainfall have made the Amazon drier than usual. The fire is believed to have been unintentional, most likely originating from indigenous farmers burning debris to prepare lands for planting. There have been no reports of death or injuries. 2 tourists have died and at least 13 injured after a boat exploded off the Indonesian coast of Bali. The explosion occurred yesterday morning, shortly after the popular tourist boat departed en route to the holiday island of Gili Trawangan. The cause of the explosion is still being investigated by local police, though initial reports suggest it started in the boat's fuel tank. Victims of the incident are mostly foreign tourists. No Australians are believed to have been on board. A recent poll has found most Europeans sympathise with Syrian refugees resettling in Europe, challenging reports of growing anti-immigration sentiment across the continent. The survey comes as Europe grapples with its worst refugee crisis since World War II. More than 1 million people fleeing war and persecution, predominantly from the Middle East and Africa, landed on European soil last year. Syrians made up almost a third of the 2015 arrivals, according to the United Nations. The poll surveyed roughly 12,000 people across 12 countries in the EU. To news in Vietnam, an elderly Vietnamese man has received a 12-year sentence for raping and impregnating a child in the central province of Nghệ An. Vietnamese online newspaper VN Express reports that Ung Nhạc Duc, age 68, was charged with sexual assault and multiple counts of statutory rape. Duc allegedly first assaulted the girl in April 2014 after drinking at her family's shop. The girl, who was 12 years old at the time, was then paid by Duc to keep quiet. According to the indictment, he continued to have sex with the child until late 2015, when a doctor informed the child's mother she was 26 weeks pregnant. Vietnamese law views sex with a child under the age of 13 as a crime punishable by between 12 years in prison and death. Meanwhile, police in Ho Chi Minh City are looking into the death of an Australian man whose body was allegedly found in an apartment on Wednesday. According to Vietnamese news site Pháp Luật Plus, employees of the block on Ghi Cong Street in District 1 broke into the man's apartment after reports of a strange smell. Initial investigations reveal the Australian entered Vietnam on a tourist visa on September 6 and rented the apartment by himself. The cause of death is yet to be determined. Back in Australia, Australian Labor Senator Stephen Conroy has dropped a bombshell in Parliament announcing his sudden resignation. Senator Conroy, who spearheaded the National Broadband Network initiative as Labor's former Communications Minister, had been working 20 years before resigning from his position last night. In a statement this morning, the power broker expressed his desire to spend more time with his family. The announcement has left many parliamentarians shocked. A terrifying attack in Melbourne southeast has left a pregnant woman shaken after 4 masked men attacked her in an armed robbery. The assault occurred at 11:30 p.m. Tuesday night in Noble Park when 4 men armed with an axe, hammer and baseball bat threatened the 24-year-old woman. One of the masked attackers hit the woman on the arm with a hammer before grabbing her bag and driving away. Police are still investigating the identity of the attackers. That's all from Tuần-san, News at 6. I'm Nu Tran. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend.